What is Docker? Let's try to see the official definition about what is Docker. Docker is an open source platform for building, deploying, managing containerized application. We will come back to this definition, but let's go ahead and first understand how we do software development and deployment as of today, let's say without Docker. First, we will understand this process. Doesn't matter which technology you are doing deployment or development and deployment today, you will recognize these stages. Let's say you are using Java and Spring Boot to do some development and create some microservices. So definitely you need the source code. Then what you need is dependencies, and you need a build manager like Gradle or Maven. Then you need a runtime environment like JDK, OpenJDK or Java. After that, you do some configuration. You set your Java home or Java path so that your configurations are working. Similarly, for Maven, you do the setup for the M2 folder and path to your M2 folder and in your environment variables. Next is once everything is done, you do a setup. Either you set up a Tomcat server or you try to use the embedded Tomcat server inside Spring Boot. If you take example of, let's say you are doing development using Node.js and Express, same goes here as well. Like you have your source code where you write the code, then you have your package.json with your npm dependencies. For the runtime, you install Node from the Node.js org website. You install and download it, and then you install it, and then only your computer starts to recognize Node. And then you do some configuration here as well. You set the path and other stuff. After that, you install Express, and then with the help of Express, you create a server and you are able to build the application and see the changes on your local. Same goes for any other technology. Let's say PHP, Python, doesn't matter. There are certain steps and stages involved, which anyone or any developer has to do. After doing all this in your local computer, let's say if some other developer joins your team, he or she also has to do the same things to make sure the code runs on the local. Then once the local development is done, you want to deploy the application onto the server. Let's say on your development environment, then on your test environment, acceptance environment, and then on production. So on those four environments also, these things has to be done. Like runtime has to be installed, configuration has to be done, server has to be made available, and then source code with proper dependencies embedded has to be pushed there. So you have to put 4 times the effort for your DTAP environment, like dev, test, acceptance, and production, to make your code run there. And then definitely you will come into a classic problem that, all right, my code is running in my local computer, but it is not running on the server. Maybe you missed some dependencies, or maybe you forgot to set the environment path. Something or the other, or you installed a wrong version of runtime. So something or the other definitely goes wrong. If you do or try to play around with these blocks yourself each and every time on different environments. So you definitely come into situations, if not you, your colleagues. I worked on it and it was working in my local computer, but it is not running there. Then you start investigation, find out, okay, this was missing. You fix it in one place, then you fix it in another place. So these kind of classic problem arises if we do the traditional way of software development and deployment. So these kind of issues was easily solved with the help of Docker, the containerization approach. That's what we call it. Let's try to go deeper into it.